I have a question for you. How do you feel when you watch a Netflix series that blows your mind, and then the next minute you watch another Netflix series that is just so below your expectations? Then you start feeling like, why did Netflix even fund this show? How are they able to go from here and come down here in like 2 seconds? So how do you feel when you see two shows like that from the same network? Because frankly, when I see shows like that, when I see Netflix blow my mind with one show in this level and then the next one they're funding a show on this level, I'm like, why? Why? You guys are doing so well. You have good shows. Why are you funding bad shows? So it honestly drives me crazy that Netflix can go from here to here in like 2 minutes. What do you guys feel about that? Comment below and let me know. Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, I want to talk about Ololade. Ololade is a new Netflix series and follows the story of two friends that become suddenly rich and their life is thrown into chaos. When I saw the trailer of this film, I was excited to see it because I've been seeing a lot of Nigerian films lately that have been blowing my mind, and I was so interested to see this one because I was feeling, okay, this one is going to be on that same level. But honestly, when I watched this film, man, fuck, I was just not impressed at all. This film had some impressive cast members, some impressive actors like Femi Adebayo, Kunle Idowu, Mercy Aigbe, Mide Martins, Jai Kuti, some fantastic actors like that. And don't get me wrong, their performances were amazing. All these actors I mentioned, they delivered phenomenal performances. But when the script is below par, like the actors cannot save it. The actors are only going to do the best thing they can do. Their performances are going to be good. But when the story is not good, when the story is not interesting or exciting, to just fall flat. And that was exactly how it was in this film. The actors gave brilliant performances, but the script was so below par. Speaking of the script, the story is a story that is not original. It's a story that we've seen millions of times before. It is okay if you can give me a story I've seen before with a fresh perspective, with a fresh take that I've not seen before. Like, it will make that story feel so much genuine and so much better. Even though it's a story that I've seen a million times, but you giving me a fresh perspective on it is going to make me appreciate the story more. But no, we don't get a fresh perspective on this story. They tell the same story that they've been telling for ages, the same way they have been telling it for ages. And I'm like, what's the point of this? I don't mean to belittle the work of all the actors and the scriptwriters and the directors and everyone that came to work with this. I don't mean to belittle their effort. It is not easy to make a film. I've never made a film before, so I know it is not something that is easily done like that. But all the same, I expected more from this kind of story, from this kind of caliber of actors and this production. Especially the fact that it was a show that was funded by Netflix. I expected so much of it. This film had so many flaws, so many flaws. The dialogue was not interesting. It's dialogue that you've heard so many times that is even starting to make your ears bleed. Imagine that kind of thing. You've heard the dialogue so many times and it's not even interesting to you again. So that's kind of dialogue I was getting in this film. There's some characters in this film that were not necessary to the story. They could have easily cut them out of the story and the story would still remain the way it was. Like, it might even be much better because of the absence of some characters. In the moment, it might feel like they're adding something to the story, but when you go back and think about the roles and the performances and the characters, like, you realize that, okay, this character could have easily been cut out and it's not even affect the story. So it's just like, why is this character now in this film? There are not many characters like that, but there are some characters like that could have been completely cut. Speaking of things that could have been completely cut, some scenes could have been a lot shorter. Like, some scenes went on for so long. Like, I'm not like, why is this scene still going on? Like, this scene just keep going and going and going. Then characters will still say something that adds to the scene. But I'm not like, why are you stretching this scene unnecessarily long? Like, it is just making this thing feel boring. I don't like calling movies boring. But there are some times when I was watching this film, I was like, this thing is just feeling boring. Just on to the next. Don't make this thing go too long. And they made so many scenes so long. And there are a lot of conveniences. There are a lot of things that happened just because they wanted to move the plot forward. Some things that did not make sense for the story. Some things that were just out of left field. Like, it's obvious that they just let this thing happen so that the scene can keep progressing, so that the movie can keep progressing. Like, it did not have any meaning. It was just convenience. That's just the best thing. They just served as conveniences, like, just to forward the story, just to forward the plots. And those scenes did not even have meaning. And those elements, those conveniences, that's what I call them. Those conveniences were just some things that just took me out of the experience. And the pacing, oh man, the pacing was dragging. I said something about pacing in one of my videos about how good pacing makes the director stay one step ahead of the audience. And in this film, the pacing is not like that. The pacing is terrible because I know what is coming, and because the scene is dragging for long, I can already tell, okay, this is where they are going with the scene. This is where they are going with the story. So it is terrible pacing. It's like I'm now even ahead of the director, which is not supposed to be like that. The director is supposed to always be like 2 steps or 3 steps ahead of the audience. But me, when I was watching this film, I was ahead of the director, I was ahead of the story. So it was like the pacing was just bad. It was bad pacing. The way they even extended some scenes that should not have been long as they were, all those things just added to the terrible pacing and the overall predictability of the story. Because a lot of times I could predict where this thing was going because I was already ahead of the director. But that's just me, Sha. It was predictable for me, and it might not have been like that for other people. But then this film was so predictable and it was so uninteresting. Apart from the performances from the actors, every other thing in this film was so below par. And I honestly feel like I just wasted time watching this series. So have you guys seen Ololade? What you think about it? Comment below and let me know. And also, my question at the beginning of this video, what do you think about what Netflix does that they fund one show that is so good and the next they are funding another show that is this good? What do you think about that? I really want to know. Anyways, if this is your first time on my channel, please subscribe to my channel for more contents like this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers.